guys, my Shrimp Po Boy. This is the prelude to the How to Clean Up the Earth with Markets Now video series. Here are the core things you will learn from these videos just watching them, realizing what the knowledge implies. If you are willing to sit there for at least a couple minutes, think about the information, and ask yourself questions. Why don't most people know about this? Well, we're supposed to be educated on these things, right? Well, etc., etc. And you're going to realize a lot of shit is going to not hold up. Even shit you want to believe in will not hold up. I will get into a few hints at that and some sneak peeks I will drop on you in some of the things you will learn list. For instance, first thing I can list is most environmentalists will actually believe they're genuine environmentalists, but are not going to know most of the shit I'm going to talk about in the video series. And those few who actually may do it for whatever horrid reason or agenda or incentive, whether power, finance, whatever the fuck it could be, will not tell you. Sorry, it's kind of that grim at that spot. You have to know this. But actually, the more likelihood is they won't know. They actually won't have a tenth of a fucking clue. So unless you know how to detect lying or trying to hide something, you're good at reading that, you won't know. Unless you're good at finding that, though, and you can sense that in a motherfucker, most of the time you will be able to tell. They either do know and they won't reveal, or they don't know. A lot of the time they won't know. They just won't fucking know. Education system, more like indoctrination. 3. You will realize we can make enough biofuels, extend the food supply, we can live comfortably in sustainable settings, we will be able to handle even doubling of the human population, we can lessen the need for the farmlands, we can lessen and do a lot of other shit. And we'll be able to support ourselves in both biofuel and renewable fuels and more sustainable fucking energy. And be able to do it for a while and quite sustainably. That's number 3. 4. You will learn we can start to clean up the planet, and that includes the air. Not only effectively, but in a way that you can save money and make money doing it. Or if you're business literate enough, make cash flow go your way if you want to take a chance of doing it. Figure ways of doing environment cleaning as a way to make a bunch of assets for yourself to keep yourself afloat at all times, even if your jobs get fucked. You can figure ways to make environment helping passive income, an honest passive income you've built yourself up to, which is great. You might be able to, if you're smart enough, you might actually be able to come up with something to do that, to make this happen for yourself. Okay? Just saying. 5. You will figure out that libertarians are objectively correct once again, like they are about too many things, but literally everyone else wants to naysay them away because of some bullshit, non-reasoning, or whatever have you, minus my conjecture of what I've learned about these things. Being a former lefty, then reading a bunch of author literature and all kind of other stuff, and then learning about these guys, I'm like, wow, this shit makes sense. Never mind that what I've learned aside, being literally everywhere on the ideological spectrum, everywhere on the ideological spectrum before settling on a certain spot that I'm in now. You're going to learn that there's right about a lot of things about reality, but they're also true, objectively correct about the issue of, say, excessive regulations. And come to understand that many of the regulations and regulatory bodies are nonsense. Zip. Bullshit. Pure and simple. So much bullshit that the currently not so US of A has been pissing off up to $4 trillion a year on regulations alone. Imagine how many homeless people you could have built fucking homes. Low maintenance, effective, efficient, small to medium sized little homes with food and running water in them to keep them alive so they would not have to suffer. Imagine with that kind of dosh, how many homes like that, with also on semi-decent property, you could do with that kind of shit. That's a lot. Think about it. The 4 trillion. 6. You will learn. Hey, you can give the federal bodies, emission regulatory bodies, and others big middle fingers and still comply to their laws and not violate a single fucking thing, but still give them a big fuck you and play the game but against them, and by doing way better than them and clean up the air and help yourself, especially if you apply the knowledge about these particular biofuels with my hypermiling video series. My top hypermiling mods and why I like so, and going into that shit. Seven, you will realize how few people will actually know about actual solutions. It's taking an internetistic fuck with a crippled foot from the south to make a video telling you about this shit, so it's self-evident that most won't know about this shit when you watch this and hear me the fuck out. Hopefully those of you who are reasonable enough will. And hear me out. Those of you who hear me out will realize this. Get your thinking caps on, kids. We're going in for a wild ride, bud. Hey, you will find out that there are advocates of making changes, real changes out there, but have no tenth of an idea or care on how, tenth of an idea on how to do it. The ones who claim it, who posture it, moral posture about change, really won't care about it. But the ones who actually advocate and want to push for making changes out there won't have a tenth of an idea how to do it. That's why I listed the moral posture, the posturing ones separate. The ones who actually advocate, desire, and push for making these kind of changes will not have a tenth of a fuck on how to do it. The ones who posture about it, they probably got narratives or banking on it. It's kind of like certain forms of hustling, if you will. I'll give you my favorite example of misguidedness out the ass. It's about shifting away from fracking for natural gas. Going away from fracking, regressivists, I call them it because they advocate for progressivism, but their policies are not progressive. They're regressive. In fact, some of their policies have origins in fucking fascism they still peddle this fucking day. Which in and of itself, its founders were former Marxists. That should tell you everything. That should tell you everything right there. Okay? That should tell you a lot about progressivism in and of itself. But that's another video, and that's for another time. But they all talk about this. The ones who actually believe in it and want to do it actually talk about it and advocate doing it, and think we could vote motherfuckers in that would. They think they can vote motherfuckers in that would do it for us. No, they got to get off their ass and do it themselves, but they don't know how to fucking do it. Right? This is what I'm getting at here. They all talk about getting away from it, but they don't have any knowledge. They don't even ask themselves, how are we going to try to do this by any means? They're still hooked on the idea, if we just put the white people in. And they have buyer's remorse from doing this shit again and again, and they refuse to learn because they have a hard time admitting when they're wrong about things. Like every other person, just dial it up to fucking 11. On their case. And I'm doing this out of constructive criticism. Not to posture about them, and not to cuss them, and not to hate on them. Again, they just don't know how to do it. They don't have a pathos, or they don't have a pathology. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens when you're taught we can do this, we need to do this, yada yada yada, but have no fucking clear way of how to do it. Because they're not taught. They don't have the knowledge. They're not being told. They're not taught. That's the problem. The ones who actually believe in trying to do this, instead of bitching and moaning just to bitch and moan, the ones that want this done don't know fucking how to do it. One of the video topics is going to show how we can do it, and the multiple ways we can do it by the millions and billions of cubic feet of fucking gas. I'm based on hard, absolute fucking knowledge, purely scientific knowledge. The economic and the financially smart that want to get on this can take what I learned and put it and learn the tax codes and the regulatory bullshit schemes and shit, learn to write them and put it to practice themselves and tell everybody else fuck off. You motherfuckers that know how to do this shit can take this knowledge and do it. We can do it, and we can get rather self-sufficient power, a self-sufficiency oriented form of powering all the damn plants that can do the bio and synthetic natural gas. And I'll even give you an example in that video about how to capture coal plant CO2 and steam reform it to make more natural gas and purified black carbon is if you want it. Actually, I'm not going to go into just mainly the steam reforming into CO and hydrogen to make this shit possible. 9. We absolutely can clean up the plant. We've been able to for a while. Y'all just kept in the dark and have this, and you have been spun a shitty, half-ass narrative. Y'all been kept in the dark. Y'all been kept stupid. It's not your fault. It's the system that's makes empty promises to teach you about this shit, but refuses to do it to keep you guys stupid and able to be controlled easily. That is the problem. 10. Those of you who have business and finance knowledge are listening to this video that want to jump on it, can make money and save money doing this planet cleaning. 11. You will learn that you can hire people to work and lift people up more while doing these. Because, oh, look how well money printing does. When the cost of every fucking thing goes up, when they cannot buy it as much on the same fucking dollar as before because they printed the value of it away. But that's good, according to the Keynes, Tards, and central banking Every investment broker that knows this is going to tell you it's bullshit. Because I will trust that motherfucker. Because that motherfucker gets rich off of making you richer. I'll trust that motherfucker any day. It's a lot of some bitches have kept you in the dark on this for whatever reason. Then again, a lot of them just don't know. Like Robert Kiyosaki pointed out, this indoctrination system had removed the finance from the education system a long time ago. And keep people from unable to smarten up and rise up. Morgan, J.P. Morgan, and some other guy did this with the General Board of Education and got this removed. And now that video by Robert Kiyosaki to explain that got removed, yeeted from YouTube. Just removed from it. I wish I'd have downloaded a copy and mirrored it, but I don't know. I didn't want to get screeched at by the original uploader. So it's one of those, finicky things. I didn't know if they would do that or not, but I got a feeling maybe I should have archived my own copy of that video before it got yeeted. Whatever. It's like how schools never will teach you that there's 3 kinds of income, which are earned as you do the work and get paid directly. Portfolio is when you buy a small shrub, you resell it for twice as much and get good cred on it for the shrub surviving the travel and yada yada. And then passive, which are assets, cash flow going your direction. People in being indebted to you for your goods and services because you help people with your services and goods. That and that is passive income. Okay, that's the example of passive income. That is what people will never learn in school. George Carlin said you were made to be obedient workers for corporate masters. Well, this is the fucking reason for it. He was elected and he didn't fucking know it. And I'm pretty sure if you watch Dr. Andrew Cam, I agree, that dude had some daddy issues because of his misandry screechings. Told me a lot about him. Number 13, the claim that you're gonna realize anyone that claims that, oh, if this was so true, they'd be doing it right now. That is a myth. You're going to learn that assertion is purely mythological. It's a myth at its finest. It's better to believe in religion than to believe in that claim for a lot of reasons. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're an a-religious type and you don't believe in religion, or you don't have a spiritual mindset or whatever, and you don't like it and you find it stupid, it'd be better to believe in that than to believe in about this particular claim. If we was so sure, we'd be doing it right now. That's why that sounds out autistic to me. Hence why I acted it, folks. You got to realize you got to kamikaze yourself. You got to jihad yourself to make a few laughs once in a while. Be at your own expense to act out what you think when someone says something. You got to be able to do that. I have no shame in doing it. I don't care. Okay, not much shame in doing it. Now, number 4, another thing is you're going to find out that there are business owners, business types, business startups that are just sitting back, waiting for people to know about them, that want to bank in on cleaning up the planet, making you a sustainable energy, a sustainable, clean-burning thing to run your cars and trucks and shit with. And those who claim that profits are bad, or you need the government to control the corporations, are lying to you. Those who say that are lying to you. The ones who say profits are bad don't know how profits actually work and don't care to know because they're fucking indoctrinated to a different secular religion. A religion look, if somebody asked me if I'd pick Christ or Marx, I'd pick Christ any day. Just saying, folks. Just fucking saying. Can I get a hallelujah, folks? Can I get an amen? So this is what you're going to get from this series overall. And you're going to see a lot of crazy shit be said that I can actually substantiate. And we could do a lot of this shit get started right fucking now. We could have got this shit started right fucking now. Well, now the first, I will give you a heads up. The first video is going to be 3 parts. It's going to be 3 videos. The first episode is going to be about ethanol fuel. The first part's going to be about myth busting and fact checks and facts. That's the first part. The second part's about potential problems with ethanol. But a lot of the issues are very easy to solve. And part 3 is how to make it work, which is going to largely be a rehashing of my video, Conventional Farming is FUBAR but Can Be Fixed, Part 1, re-upload. Please check it out. You will get a grasp. Because that formula for the for the not so you, as of currently not so you, as of a currently, is going to pan, how it is going to pan out for us in our regions. Here's why. Everywhere that's able to grow corn needs to be able to practice this. Anywhere it's able to grow barley, anywhere it's able to grow, stuff like that, could use this formulation. This growing formulation, the tilling, the method, the fodder crop to make mulch. As you strip till, I meant to say, after you crimp that and strip till that, let it die out into mulch, and then throw a little extra, all these little things. All that will play into these. It will actually play out real nicely. And the shit's more going to be closer to being, the meats and whatnot and dairy are going to be closer to nutritionally to grass-fed, grass-finished stuff, but a lot cheaper and a lot less land. Now that's not going to, and there's also going to be the other, if you are a flexitarian, meat eater, straight up carnivore, or if you're low carb, or if you keto, it's going to be almost just as healthy as, or at least real close. You're also going to realize this formula is going to play into the biodiesel video, and the 4th video, it's going to be about, synthetic propane and LPG because of the glycerin. And it also, this formula will play into those areas. And it's also going to play into how to get away from fracking. It's a template that can also be edited and fixed based on your farming needs for whatever you're doing your feedlot operations on. It makes it a lot more, and it also will be a formula on how to make it regenerative as a farming system as a whole, and rebuild the dirt and heal the earth itself. And this was with realistic reach. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you later. Take care.